The fear of abandonment is something that most people can potentially have or develop a fear of. When it comes to narcissistic individuals, this is often an underlying fear that drives their behaviour, and as they lack empathy for the other party, more often than not, they will make this fear a reality for their partners, for their children, for their friends, for their parents, for their family. Narcissistic individuals sort of enjoy creating that suffering within others. Some are more sadistic and do it with intent to cause that pain to another, so they can sort of stand there and say, see, now you know how it feels, like that child trapped in an adult's body. Others, it's just instinctively done. So we can all fear that abandonment. However, with a narcissist, they will place this fear within their victim. Narcissists tend to fear abandonment due to their fragile ego and their need for that excessive attention and validation, the need for perfection, the need to be admired, the sense of grandiosity. When it comes to victims, they're often conditioned by a narcissistic individual to believe they're unworthy. A narcissist will use a victim's past traumas against them to create that dependency on them. They will leave their victims feeling inadequate and insecure. Narcissistic individuals go all out to manipulate, to control, so that they can dominate the relationship, so that they can avoid the abandonment, and they will guilt trip and gaslight their victims into walking on eggshells around the narcissist, because they've developed that fear of abandonment and they don't want the narcissist to abandon them. A narcissistic individual will happily just fall silent on you, creating that doubt and that insecurity within you. You put a foot wrong and they punish you to the point where you stop doing the things that they punish you on out of fear of reactions from them. You stop going to see your friends and family. You stop doing your activities. You stop wearing the clothes that they once admired about you, the things that you enjoy that they once admired about you. You stop doing because for whatever reason it seems to offend them, and you want to appease them because you care about them. And if you do these things, they create arguments before you go out. They create arguments when you come home. They fall silent on you. They taunt you. They criticize you. And they unjustly accuse you. So you begin to walk on eggshells around them because you don't want to hurt them. And you begin to fear the painful silence from them. Narcissistic individuals seek to manipulate their supply so that they can gain that source of validation that they're the most important person within the victim's life. You go out to meet your friends and family, and a narcissistic individual will turn around and say, well, if they're more important to you than I am, playing the victim and guilt tripping you. In order to prevent abandonment, a narcissistic individual will go all out to manipulate their partners. A narcissistic individual can often impress strangers rather than taking care of their own family. So that if their family does finally have enough of their behaviour and says no more, the narcissist has got a new source of supply lined up. However, the narcissist doesn't see that their behaviour led to the situation. They play the victim in the reality that they created, and they claim that their family have no time for them. Their family don't appreciate them. Their family are too busy for them, and in their head they often believe this to be true. Yet with a narcissist, no matter how much attention you give them, it's never going to be enough. Everything has to be on their terms, yet they also like that little bit of a challenge. Narcissistic individuals, due to their fear of abandonment, will unjustly accuse their victims, often of the very thing that the narcissist is doing to their victims. So if a narcissist is cheating and they seemingly admired your career or your hobby, your activities within you when you first met, all of a sudden they're going to accuse you of, if they admired your work ethics in the beginning, later down the line they're going to accuse you of working too much because you're up to no good, even though that's who you've always been. If you're someone that hits the gym and hit the gym when you met them and they admired that quality within you, they're going to start accusing you of being up to no good. If you're an early riser and have always been an early riser and they admired that quality within you, they're going to accuse you of getting up so that you can go out, so that you can meet someone. So you slowly change who you are to appease them, which creates that sort of depression within you, because you've lost yourself. You've lost your routine. They've molded you into who they want you to be. You've no longer got your friends or your family or your hobbies. As a narcissistic individual will go all out to isolate you. They'll claim that your family interfere too much, or that they don't trust those friends of yours, because they don't want those feeding you information so that you can make an informed choice and potentially abandon the narcissist. However, the narcissist finds it easier to abandon you because you're isolated and alone, and they can come back and hoover you as and when it suits them. Narcissistic individuals will go all out to withhold attention, affection, support, finances, anything they can to remain in control, to punish you, because they fear that abandonment. Yet, as soon as you get to a point where you recognise things such as their silent treatment and no longer play, they get offended. They become the victim. You're the one that's not giving them the attention. They go and cheat on you and claim, well, if you'd have been giving me more attention. And even if you were giving them the maximum attention, it's still not enough. A narcissistic individual often fears abandonment, which drives their behaviour of isolating their victims, unjustly accusing their victims, withholding things from their victims, and it projects that fear over into their victim. Only because the victim cares, they work harder to make sure that the narcissist isn't living in that fear, and also please the narcissist because they're now living in that fear of being abandoned by the narcissist. If anyone has any thoughts on this video, please do add those into the comments for people reading through. Thank you very much to all the returning subscribers and your continued support with the channel. It's greatly appreciated. If you are new to the channel, I'm Elizabeth Shaw. This channel is all about narcissistic behaviour, to give you more understanding of the people you might be dealing with within your life, how to handle yourself around those people if you cannot go no contact, and different methods to find what works for you to help you understand and overcome narcissistic and emotional abuse. If you do find the information helpful on the channel, please do subscribe. If you are looking for further help and support in understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse, I do have several online guides available, and those teachable links are in the video description. If you're looking for someone to speak to, I have partnered with BetterHelp, and their sponsored link is also in the video description. I do also have several books out on Amazon: 15 Rules to Deal with Narcissistic People If You Cannot Go No Contact, How to Create Boundaries Around Those Who Have No Respect for Your Boundaries, and a Narcissist Handbook, which is the ultimate guide to understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse. They'll be in the description also if you'd like to go and check those out. Go out there and create the day that you deserve, because you do deserve to have an amazing day. Bye.